Hello, everyone, and welcome to Countless Heroes, that crazy 16-player West Marches style campaign where I, Logan, take on 5 of my players at a time. At least tonight. What's going on with my shirt right now? All right. So hello, players. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
good.
really washed out. I'm pastier white than normal. My lights are just ridiculous today. It's really freaking bothering me. I'm gonna see what I can do. All right, and so you guys, hello to our audience. Thank you guys for being here. I can't see any of our chats anywhere, so I have no idea if you're actually there. But that's okay. I'll pretend. I see Matthew. I see Autumn. There's Matt Mercer. Oh, and the whole crew is here. That's great. Okay, that's my imagination now. So thank you guys for rating us with 13,000 people. We made partner tomorrow. Oh, that's amazing. Wow, we're so good. Anyway, so hi guys, how you doing? Good to see you. Zach, I don't think that I have not seen your face in so long, ever. I don't think we've ever gone 7 days without me seeing you.
Right.
Since I met you. We just went 7 days without me seeing you, and it's very good to have you back.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, good. Not to call you out for being gone for 7 days. Go on vacation and all.
But to call him out for being gone for 7 days.
Zach specifically gets called out.
I kind of called him out. I'm like, yeah, that was not good. Sorry, bud. Let's see here.
To be fair, I think I've been off of Countless Heroes for longer than a week just because of scheduling. But
I have too.
You still saw me at directors' meetings, so it was different.
Yeah, but Zach plays 3 to 4 times a week most times.
This is true.
He's my fill-in. He's always available. He's got the open schedule. Stare awkwardly for a while.
I'm stressed for tonight's episode.
I'm stressed for every episode
because you
till the
ended
end.
yesterday's episode with "This is the last happy moment of the campaign."
I did.
Oh,
Who
you
was
did?
I threatening?
I
last
forgot
night?
about that.
I was threatening someone.
I think me.
Who was I threatening? Was that
All
you?
of us?
Okay, I wasn't sure. No, I specifically called somebody out because they made some comment, and I wanted to let them know that I would be glad to
Crush their hopes and dreams.
Because I
crush
wasn't
their
pursuing
mightily.
anybody in the other world, I think, and it was like, that's fine.
Because you weren't pursuing anyone.
In the other world, I wasn't going out of my way to look for anybody, and you're like, that's fine. That's okay.
Sorry, I just got a weird sort of message, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't anything important, like an emergency. It is not. So I apologize.
So we're starting off by rolling initiative, right?
Not tonight.
No, please,
A
God,
week
no.
from tonight. A week from tonight,
Against
probably,
each
but not
other.
tonight. Ooh.
Let's not do
against
that.
The mirror
I
versions
mean,
of you guys.
I'm down for a battle royale if that's what we're doing, but
It's you versus Shadow You.
I'd be down.
It's Nega Yous.
I was gonna say that's fine, because Negami would probably only be a barbarian, but I don't think that would actually be fine.
I was gonna say 18th level
I don't wanna
barbarian.
fight-
I think that's
I don't want to fight another druid. I'm good.
Nega You.
Nego, she would
built
have
something
more than
before.
151.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of take a hit there. No Hagbag to deal with. Who wants to recap? Anybody here who was here yesterday? Jay, Chelsea.
I
You guys were here yesterday.
I can recap, I think. Let me
All
think.
right. You think?
Where do we
I
start?
blocked
Yes,
it
I'm trying
already. It's already
You
gone.
started by tormenting me. I'm frozen. Never mind. Hello?
Okay, that's where we started. I was like, where did we? Okay, yeah, Mari was going about her morning, and she answered the door, and the other universe's Mari was there, and they talked about the fact that the other Mirror Mari, felt like she never belonged anywhere, and they discussed the Nicosa, and basically that the other Mari had never heard about them, and wasn't one. So that they talked for a while about that. Everyone had met up and asked the other Mari some questions. We got together and then discussed what to do, and I think that it was just we discussed going to talk to Mari, and then we went to talk to Mari. I don't think anything important happened at the Beer Forge this time. Yeah, they went to go talk to her.
Pretty sure you got some important information, didn't you? Or did you get that?
We were
before, I guess?
just kind of spitballing, like I think just coming to conclusions and then talking to her after that.
All right.
But we found out like a lot about the other world while talking to her. We through some discussions with her, and after taking her to Pinball to discuss the fact that she came through the portal and survived, which most people didn't do. Sorry, so I looked at my screen just in time to see Zach do that. We found out that the ancients still lived on Lamina in the other world, so there were no Goa around. People didn't know what Airshell was. Guyana was the Baba Yaga, which she wasn't a fae in the other world, or if she was, they didn't know. There's no portal to the Feywild under the city, under Cinderhaven. In the other world, there's the Shroud and the caverns, which my assumption was that was just the portal to the Shadowfell that Victor opened, because they are all still alive.
That's a pretty good assumption.
So after that, we went to walk her back to the portal. And she went through. Oh, the other thing was we found out you can go through the portal. You could probably go through the portal and back and forth fine, as long as your current state of being is alive on the other side. So Mari is able to go through because she's alive on both sides. So are Oshin and Callie, because all three of them went through fine. Sultana, it was questionable. Syl, probably not, because she doesn't exist as far as we know. Because
Pingo, once realizing it, said that Sultana was probably a no, which would be Primarch would be a no.
Yeah, so also just the other world, they don't know what the Ferosh or Chitin are, because people don't leave Lamina because the ancients live there. So if they are there, then they don't leave ever. So also, who knows where Pip is. Yeah.
If Pip is.
So the group that was able to go through the portal, except for Lark, who is physically able but probably shouldn't go through, stayed behind. They stayed behind, and the other groups went through. Callie wanted to go to ask Victor on the other side if they would be willing to help. So we went to go talk to them. She went to talk to Afra, who was pretty different, to say the least. Walking in naked, thinking Mari and Oshin were there also for them.
That was her wife.
Yeah. So talk to her about getting
but
help.
Then stayed naked after realizing.
Yeah, then stayed naked. It was,
She put on a robe. It's fine.
Eventually, yeah. Yeah, she gave them a suit of armor that was the armor that a Noxford wears, which he brought back and gave to Lark, because he's the only one, as far as we know, that can wear it. After that, still
wear full plate, I think.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Is there somebody else?
Maybe Callie, but she probably wouldn't. I don't know.
She lose all her monk stuff.
Yeah. So we gave it to Lark. And he has that.
There's one thing I know about my wife. She likes monkey business.
I could wear it.
Oh, you could?
Yeah.
I guess any of the clerics could.
Some clerics can. Not all of them.
Well, any full cleric can.
I think it's
It depends
on
specific.
domain.
It's
Nature
specific.
domain.
It's specific by domain. That's why I said I
Okay.
think life and nature. I don't think knowledge and light can't. But
Makes sense.
but
But you have monkey business too, don't you?
that's why we just kind of gave the armor to Lark.
But you get like a huge AC bump from not wearing armor, don't you? Primarch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you would want.
So yeah. After that, Syl had been giving out invitations to everybody all day because she wanted to bring her little Goa child to life before, at least one of them before Kiros attacked and possibly broke down the boulder of raw air shield she was concerned about. So she had done the ceremony for that. It was kind of unusual because she had Callie and Pimble help. And when the Goa was awakened, then Vaz, the small statuette, so I don't remember the term for the small ones.
Figurine.
Figurine.
Figurine. Yes, something like that. I knew it was something like that. It was figurine Goa named Vaz, who looks a little bit like a little half orc.
A half orc Charlie Brown.
Yes, he came to life
That's
with.
really accurate. That's
Yeah.
really accurate. Wait.
He came to life with Dub and Syl, which is unusual because normally it's just the person who sculpted the Goa who was there. And so they introduced him to everybody, and after that, Vaz
Question morality very quickly.
yeah. Thanks, Mari.
You just asked if the flowers were dead. That's all.
That wasn't her goal.
And then a few seconds later, after Syl dodged the question, basically said, "Oh, you can go to Callie for any questions you might have," and then turned and said, "Are these dead?" She had an amazing answer too.
Vaz
I don't know what it is
approached
right
the
now, but I
boulder.
was very impressed by it.
Vaz approached the boulder and knew the names and the shapes of the other Goa that were in there, and told Syl that the one of them that she was thinking of, that wasn't what they are, and showed her this is what they are. And
So the
That's
ability that the only ability that Syl normally when you're creating a Goa, you imbue intention into them of what they should be doing in life. And this ritual has been muted from the original ritual because they didn't want to make slave Goa anymore. They wanted to make Goa that could have some sort of free choice. So but they figured if they don't tell them something, they're going to have zero personality. So there's always been a little bit of intention given. Well, now Syl gave the least. This is the Goa that has had the least amount of intention ever given to it. Its only intention that was given to it was there were two things. One was basically be free. Just I want you to choose everything for yourself. And the other one was I want you to have basically an attunement to the arcane arts as it relates to Airshell. That was the only thing she kind of leaned towards, but only a very small amount of the entire process. So it was very unique. I think I don't know if you touched on it just lightly or if you didn't touch on it at all, but there's one other big important part of last night.
I don't know if I.
Did you touch on the Jasper thing?
Oh yeah, I blocked that out because whenever I hear mom
Because it was
voice, I get
awkward
scared.
AF.
Yeah, Jasper confronted Lark because Mari was concerned about the fact that Lark was so willing to die and sent Jasper a letter.
Out of everyone, Mari has been the one that has been the most vocal,
Yeah.
most passionate about it. That's why I asked Mari first.
She, had gone to Jastra about the fact that Lark was basically, it seemed like wanted to die for someone, and they
Constantly
talked. They talked about it, and Lark has decided that he wants to
Is
live.
that how you want to phrase that?
Yes, because
They didn't talk about it. Jasper
If
didn't
you
give him
wanna-
a choice.
if you want to
Jastra's like,
experience
"That's-
it, you can go experience it
canceled."
yourself.
Jasper's like, that's
It's
canceled. We're
worth
done.
watching.
Saldana and Lark now have a strong understanding of each other now.
Yes, they bonded a lot in that moment.
Listen,
even though
Mari
somebody
was
wasn't
worried. She's been worried about Lark for a while.
So, yeah, about the last half an hour of last night was an incredibly well sort of series of things. The whole episode was actually a really good one. But I mean, they're all good. We love them all. But that particular part was incredibly good. I was very happy to be able to do a mom voice. So, no hag bag and no nothing you guys need to do for that. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, at this point, Owen's still probably doing official business for every minute that someone doesn't tell him, hey, we're going to plan something.
Yeah, so it'll
That's
probably
fair.
be lunchtime for Owen. So Owen, you've gotten more and more reports that the solstice is what they're waiting for when Guyana can return to Cinderhaven and help crush the enemies, because they don't expect that this city will be as easily crushed as Highwater was, because Highwater had very few defenses being inland. They didn't expect an attack, and they had no. They couldn't see it coming because you guys didn't know about these cities or anything. So that's them. For the most part, that's been what you've been getting. You've been getting the idea that they're gonna be using their divine intervention. They think it'll be strongest then. They are working hard towards training and teachings, and they think that they'll have even stronger allies. There will be you've been told that there will be at least 2 people specifically with the general at all times to protect him. One is a very powerful cleric, the other one is a very powerful sorcerer that will be with him at all times. So to be careful about that.
Primeheart has been. Are you asking someone to do something else?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Primeheart has been doing sermons as much as he can and trying to gather as many people as possible. And he's gone from temple to temple, really, just trying to get everyone together, because the domains shouldn't be separated. We should all be worshiping together and trying to get some kind of connection to defeat this evil that is coming towards the city. So that's pretty much what he's been doing for the past while.
Okay.
Mari actually, in any library that she can find, either her own or one that hasn't been destroyed yet in the city, either from them or from the attacks that have been happening, is going to actually just research about Guyana, about the god, just to get a better understanding, especially considering after what happened yesterday and the talk with the other Mari. She's like, okay, now I want to know myself about this god.
So the thing is, you don't find a lot of information. The information you find is on the god Kaz, which was one of the elder gods. The idea that this Guyana existed did not exist. They didn't exist before now. But Kaz, parts of Kaz have always been, the gifts of Kaz, as people would call it, the gods that were created from the elder gods, the gods you have now. There's always been gaps in it. There's always been a few missing, because 55 gods is a lot to create. Because of lost to mythology or lost to history and just not remembered. The idea that you can only remember so many at a time. You're only going to worship so many. Some of them are going to fall to the wayside. It was always thought that some of the gifts of Kaz was one of those. That there just seemed to be some more gaps in that kind of ring than any other. So you're finding a lot of places where Guyana should fit, but nothing about Guyana specifically. Overall, though, the ideas, the structures, you would believe that a god in that position would be fairly benevolent. Thank you so very much. I can't read it because it's tiny on my screen.
TTRP Theater.
TTRP Theater. The 5-year-old me wants to laugh. Don't look at me like that, Heather. Thank you. Thank you very much. TTRP Theater. No G. That's what's throwing me. Okay, TTRP Theater. Now I see it. It's easier. Thank you so very much for coming by and giving us a follow. Sorry that took so long. So, where were we? I'm lost.
Guyana. How little there is about her.
Guyana. So there's very little about Guyana, but the more and more that you look, because the way that the gaps are structured, there's you can kind of follow paths of what in olden days they might call lawful or chaotic or good or evil, and this god probably should, although there are anomalies. The idea is this god would be a fairly good or benevolent god, nothing like the woman that you have met.
Half of her was nice.
Damn.
Nice is a relative term.
I mean,
she was
Yeah,
nice,
that's true.
but she wasn't like
Nice.
a good person.
That's
She was
true.
like-
It's
yeah.
nice as a relative term.
She was polite.
She was a
You're the-
babe.
So is Jastra. Well, was. Jastra used to be very polite.
Yeah, she did. I remember. No, I mean that's what her morning is. It's just researching and trying to find
Okay.
out information. Yeah.
Anyone else? Oh, OG?
Ocean is continuing to tend to the tree, even though there's not really much stew to this skyberry tree that is growing, and is also talking to the clerics. Prime Part's going around trying to rally people, but Ocean's talking to probably more so the druids and stuff that are at the nature temple, because the nature temple has the big garden and a lot of space, so it's just sort of like trying to see if they want to like let other people in whenever the battle happens, whenever everything happens, so that they can be protected by more powerful people. Maybe try to stay out of harm's way, because the druids will probably be protecting this garden with a tree that has never been found outside of Lamina and things like that. So,
Right.
yeah. Probably talking to Ezra about that too, because he defends nature. So if there are people in the space where nature is, you can't exactly let them die there.
He's definitely going to be involved. But yes, he agrees with you. Soxy.
Yeah, so Soxy's probably been spending a lot of time at the Nature Temple. Was it Nature or Tempest? Learning more about Ada Loxley. Since she's now more involved with her goddess, she figures I should probably actually do some research now and figure out more about her, strengthen the connection. And when she's not been doing that, she's been spending a lot of time training and also writing in a journal.
Okay. When you are studying and you get into those deep dives, you know that moment when it's almost it's kind of like a runner's high, but it's a researcher's high, when you're just like in the moment and everything is just faded away around you, and you're just learning and absorbing knowledge and discovering something very interesting you can't wait to look up and know more about. For a brief moment, you become acutely aware of the symbiote that shares your body. It just sort of pops into your mind, literally, and just kind of pings you. You're just like aware that it's there for a moment as a reminder.
That's it. Pleasant and unpleasant all at the same time. Thanks, Logan. Now I'm picturing those frickin' ear slug things from Star Trek.
I have worse pictures for you I can send you.
No, we're good. We're good.
I told you I wasn't going to use it very often, just for very pointed dramatic. You haven't dealt with it since you got it.
This is true.
My tapeworm, my tapeworm, my tapeworm and me. Okay, moving on. No?
No.
All right.
I work with
Oh,
tapeworms.
no.
I don't want to have one in
Yeah,
my
no, I
character.
know. Please don't put one in my character. Oh, God. Paladins are the holy jocks of God School. Great.
I
He's
haven't
not
been able to
wrong.
stop laughing at that this entire time.
That is hilarious. Okay.
It's accurate.
Well,
Lots of team spirit, not all the knowledge.
That does describe Lark very well, actually.
Are you saying he got into Holy School on a scholarship? Let me guess. Basketball. Chess, actually. What? All right.
We lost Chelsea.
So tired. Chelsea. Wow, floor Chelsea. The very rare and elusive floor Chelsea. just things moving. Oh, those are sunglasses. Oh, I thought that was just the back.
Yeah,
of
I
the
can
chair.
see her glasses
Not quite
shaking
floor
on
Chelsea.
top of her head as she's laughing. But that's literally all I
Almost like
can
this, I wish
see.
I had control of her camera. I could just pan down. Just watch her slide farther under the table. You think her butt's on the ground, or is she like doing that weird leg thing where she's like sliding and her back is there and her legs are just kind of at a weird angle?
That's my favorite floor Chelsea move.
It's strange something you keep reaching up that high. All right. I love Zach. He's just like, yep.
Sending information, like real information.
I was researching.
I missed this. This is what I got a week, and I come back to this. Yep.
I missed you.
You know you did, buddy. Well, everyone loves Floor Chelsea.
She's the most grounded of us all. Although
I
technically, I am sitting on the.
was going to say,
But
you
she's still-
different perspective here for you, sir.
Bad that when you said Fort Chelsea for a split second, my brain was like, why are we talking about 4chan?
4chan. 4chel. God, does 4chan even exist anymore? I haven't heard of it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
it's still out there, sadly.
All right. Tessa just walked by the door. That's all she heard was us talking about 4chan instead of D&D. That's great. All right.
So how are we getting hurt today?
I'm already crying. What other ways am I gonna cry today?
That's somebody was staring through the crack in my door. There's weird sounds. I'm getting kind of creeped out. What are you doing? Oh, I should have pushed them. No, they're not answering.
There was
All right,
literally not a
so-
single sound coming out of my body for a good minute and a half there. I was just shaking for laughter. Holy shit.
Pretty sure that means you were dead.
Probably.
Like legally dead for like a minute. and a half.
Probably. It's fine.
No, Chelsea isn't undead.
Yeah, it's
Not
accurate.
just Mari. Chelsea is.
That's accurate. It's been that way for a while. It's not new.
All right. I'm not sure how I want to break you guys today yet. So after a while, you guys start to. I have so many options. You guys start to gather at the beer forge. You have to walk by that portal with the weird fence around it, or this crack that lives in the world. The crack is actually starting to be visible above the wall at this point.
Thank you for the gift, Seb.
Oh, thank you, Johnny7404. Oh, heck.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
That's a gift sub for you.
Great, thanks.
We're at the beer forge.
Oh, I
Yeah,
just
we're
arrived
gonna be
according to the
You
music.
walk in, and it is fairly dead in here. It has been for a very long time. There's not a lot of people that come in and out, and we need more cowbell.
Owen just got here. It's
It's
fine.
Owen's theme song.
Evidently,
Just cowbell.
rattlesnake.
just
song.
cowbell.
That's the sound his shield makes against his armor.
No.
It's a rattlesnake fry.
It's a really
I feel like
odd
Owen's
sound.
theme song walking down the road would be Old Town Road.
No, I can't hear that song anymore. It makes me sad. So, you're at the beer forge. Ivy is behind the counter. It's only Ivy. It's only been Ivy for the last few times you've been in here, as most of the others have moved on. Still has her her dishwasher. That's about it.
Hi, Ivy.
She just raises her glass and takes a sip. Starts to get up and start making anything that they're used to. Are you working, General?
I wasn't aware there was another option, to be honest, but yeah.
Perfect. And she starts pouring you a whiskey.
Can we add a bit of coffee to that? I might need a bit.
She'll give you coffee as well.
All right.
Hello.
Anyone have anything on the agenda for today?
Not really.
Not directly. There's more people gathering that can be done, but I think that all that's left is people in Amla who are going to probably be more inclined to help anyway, because, they're fighters and they...
We could always go check in on them regardless. I mean, we can teleport to the island now.
Pip also got us a mountain to help.
That's true.
It has a face at all.
Yeah. What was it that Syl called him? Mount Grandad?
Yes, this is great.
Well, of all the geographical features we could have gotten on our side, mountain's not a bad one to have.
Could you imagine if we got the ocean, though? That...
Have we tried to get the ocean yet?
We haven't, actually.
No, but she always seemed a bit temperamental to me.
I mean, I've been trying to keep tabs of what's been going on. Have we tried to get the Leviathan on our side?
Well, okay. So the problem with that is that we probably need Aldion to do that, but Aldion's still with some pirates. We haven't contacted the pirates, as far as I know. I haven't done it, and I think I was the only one that was really...
I did briefly contact them once or twice.
Okay. But I don't know if that's going to happen. The people that are in Miss Vale, the ones that can actually use the Leviathan, get us help, whatever, they're not going to directly fight in the battle. They're going to protect their people.
Right, when the city gets crushed, them being beneath the city doesn't really bother them.
Well, no, if the city gets crushed, then it falls in on them. So they've got a lot of people that aren't fighters, and their leader is apparently Aldion is gone, so they can't really do whatever. I don't know. They're with the garlic people right now, so
Oh, the old garlic. Yeah,
they're
she was
fine.
alright.
Yeah.
They're with the garlic people.
You can't.
Oh, that's also another really important point. We've got to save the city for sure, otherwise I've got to go live with the old garlic.
Wait, what? Oh, I forgot about that.
Got their help, but in exchange, they said if we fail, then I've got to go. She owns my life. But also, if we fail, I will probably be dead. So,
I mean, all in all, that's about as good of a deal as you get from a fey creature.
yeah.
There could be worse creatures to be, having to live the rest of your life with, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd rather live with the old garlic than be like Connor. That was...
Well, and he's got to decide what he's going to do, because if he takes a deal and she doesn't choose us, then that's a problem.
I could take
There
him.
was also evidently some misunderstanding about the deal that was offered. So I thought maybe it might be important to clarify for you guys as well, because I had to clarify for him. The deal he was offered was you can either stay as you are, suffering and tortured with this cold corruption that they'd received, or agree to help, and at the end of it, she will either give him infinite power or take it away and leave him the way he was. So the reward is to change one way or the other, his choice. And he'll get the powers for the battle if he agrees. But if he doesn't agree, he stays in the tortured state he's in for the rest of his life. However long that is.
Tuesday?
If he doesn't agree.
Shit. I mean, you're not wrong, but shit.
Sorry.
All right. Well, is there anyone else we could go ask that anyone can think of? I mean,
We already had folks check in on the Illithid and the goblins.
Goblins are making things, and I don't actually know what happened with the Illithid.
The goblins specifically are making a glitter deployment unit large enough to cover the entire pyramid.
great. Can we make it acidic?
Think who wants
They're also creating 500 gallons of something called Deuce's Wild, which evidently turns into some sort of a gas that will incapacitate the enemy. Without killing them.
So you got the goblins. I've got the all garlics clove. We've got the red caps going to be. Ooh, they're probably coming soon, aren't they?
They come when we call them. We just gotta spill some blood and say the name Jimothy.
I will
Logan,
Was
leave
you could
that
have avoided
Mike?
that. You could have avoided that. You could have named it
Come over
yourself,
to me.
but you were like, nah, it's fine.
Was that Mike?
No, that was Joe.
No, that was Joe
It was
and
either
Nathan
him-
and Caden at
Yeah.
the exact same time.
Literally, Jimothy was the first thing. It was either that or Tim.
It was a time. It should be clipped. If it's not clipped, we'll get someone to clip it. But I'm pretty sure
someone clipped it. That night, someone
Yeah.
clipped it.
it's worth going. You know what? That we should do that. We should review all of our clips on our last day.
Oh my God.
Tip's got some real
That'd
good
be
ones.
Like in between everybody's
Pip
epilogue,
has
we'll just review a
amazing
clip.
ones.
That's a good idea, actually. All right.
Okay, so who else? I was talking to the people at the Nature Temple, and they are willing to let people in when the battle happens to protect them there. They've got a lot of other things to protect there, so just sort of bringing people in. Also,
There's not a lot of people. There'll be no civilians left in the city at that point, though. The city is pretty much abandoned as is now. There's a few shops and things that are still open to the last minute now, especially that the rumors going around that nothing's going to happen until the solstice. But it's starting to wind down this last week.
Is there any place we can hit just like as a shock shit, what's the phrase I'm looking for?
Shock troops.
Yeah, just a shock troop, something we can do just to make a
Blitzkrieg.
difference. Yeah, beforehand.
There was that Spinosaurus on Lamino Island. I'm pretty sure we can go and get that.
Open someone knows. That's
Actually, speaking of Lamina, did we actually go talk to the chitin yet?
no,
I'm
we
not sure if
haven't done
anyone else
that.
did.
When we went to Lamina, we just sort of popped in unwillingly
just
to talk to the mountain. That was really it. And then
just to put this out there, I believe 5 out of the 6 people that are playing on next Wednesday are all going to go to Lamina. So we're probably going to do a very Lamina heavy episode then, with I think it's Syl popping back. So it'll be it'll work out. Oh, and now J too. So 4 out of the 6. So there'll probably be a lot of prep over there while we're doing the prep here this episode.
Okay.
Well,
This is just the calm before the storm, guys. I'm building tension here. It's funny because I can tell you that and it just gets worse. Isn't that great?
Yeah, no. You know, Owen, this just occurred to me, and I don't know trajectory. I think that's the right word. I don't know that sort of thing very well, but if Pinball's place is above the city enough, could we drop something on their city from his house?
I mean, in theory, what would we drop exactly?
I don't know, something very destructive.
I imagine they've also got some sort of barrier or some sort of a arcane ward in place.
That would
So
Probably
Owen,
also-
you would have some information about this. This is why I want to hear these things from you guys. The city and the Sub Rosarium are working together. They are mounting dozens and dozens of very special cannons all along the edges of the city, pointing out over, and they are also pointing them now towards the north. And they are working on special and basically anti-magic shells that will be able to penetrate through barriers like that.
Maybe we could get a cannon mounted on Pinball's home? I don't know.
that would also let
That-
them know where the house is.
So the
I've-
house to them will be behind them on every layer. So if either the cities get that far from the north or from the west, you've got bigger problems.
Well, I mean, we could ask Pinball and see if it's something that's an option. He'd probably be the one to know the most, right?
Oh, yeah.
Potentially. Isn't he still working? No, he's got his way to get them out of the sky now, doesn't he?
He's working on it.
Yeah, he's probably busy with that.
All right. Well, it was just an idea. Like I said, I don't know how angles and trajectories work, so I don't know how we would hit it anyway. But I figured if his place is above theirs, then maybe there was a chance it would work.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think, but I think we got most of our angles covered as well as they're going to be covered at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, we've got all the Goa and everything.
And you have several airships that Goa will be providing. So
Yeah.
while you guys are chatting, the door opens, kind of abruptly.
Oh no.
Kind of slams open and then starts to slam shut again, like somebody opened it too quickly, and you just oh, and the door opens again, and this adorable young woman puts her head around the corner. She's got deep black raven hair and kind of a pale complexion. You recognize her. Some of you called her the Vessel, but she's got another name.
Imelda?
Oh, they sent me because they didn't think you'd know me. I mean, that's you guys, right? You're the heroes on this side. Yeah, of course you are. And she kind of smiles and comes in. She's wearing a very pretty black dress and no shoes. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Howdy.
Hi.
Oh, I recognize you. Looking at Primeheart.
No, you don't.
I kind of do.
No, you really
All right. I guess.
you recognize some schmuck on the other side.
Well, I guess if you call, being in charge of literally almost everything a schmuck, I guess.
I would generally looks at.
Owen chuckles.
Okay, I understand who you are.
You understand who I am? Who am I?
You're Imelda from the other side.
That's correct. I am Imelda from the other side.
One of the Victor.
I'm one of the founders of Victor, yes.
What can we do for you?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I have come to deliver some information from my people. And then to let you know that after this, we'll be sealing the portal.
Okay.
Because it's way too dangerous to have open.
We don't disagree with you. We just have, a very, very big problem that we're also dealing with.
Yeah, I'm here to help with that too. So you guys have a bunch of things wrong here. Things that aren't supposed to be a certain way. One of them is really big. Like, we've been studying a lot of your libraries and stuff, and it seems like one of your major gods is missing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were told that yesterday.
It's Cass, yeah.
No, not Cass, Guyana.
Okay.
And then we heard there's this big rumor that Guyana is coming back, and maybe that's part of the conflict. And we're here to tell you, all you got to do is let her come back.
I think the circumstances might be slightly different over here than your situation.
I'm here to tell you they're really not. I understand that somebody may be corrupting Guyana, but Guyana is a good god. And right now, Guyana here is twisted, maybe, and is corrupting people or something. I don't know exactly what's going on, I'll be honest, but here's what I know. Something's going to be happening on the solstice. Some big thing, right? Like, I think you guys call it the shattering or something. You really got to work on your leaks. I mean, they're all over the place. So, this whole shattering thing is very bad news. Because it's linked to our world.
I don't understand.
Well, we have a place called Lamina Island. It's where the ancients live.
So we've been told.
Your Lamina Island is broken. Evidently. Like the ancients died or something. I don't know what happened. Our Lamina Island and your Lamina Island are connected. If Guyana doesn't come back, we have this weird understanding through divine magics that our world is going to end.
And Guyana told you that?
No. Almost every one of our gods told us that. And they told us that here too. We've been doing magics on both sides of the portal.
And what happens if she doesn't come back? Or if she does?
If she doesn't come back, that doesn't matter. But what we've connected is if she doesn't come back, something called the shattering, at least that's what you've called it, happens here. Which also means it happens on our side. Which means we believe our world ends. We also... You can talk to your pinball. My understanding is maybe he's might be researching something similar. But we also believe that our two worlds can't exist without each other.
So we should let the people out there destroy our city and let Guyana come back.
I don't know.
That's what you should figure out.
Well, I didn't know there was anybody trying to destroy your city. Sorry. Been a little busy trying to figure out the end of our world.
That's kind of the issue, is that the people trying to destroy everything, kind of cultish, sacrificing stuff, kind of altogether a bad taste. That's Guyana in our neck of the woods. And I'd love to assume that Guyana's a bit more innocent than her cult would lead us to believe, but she talked to me at one point and seemed to be very approving of all the shit they were doing. So she might be benevolent over there. She certainly hasn't given that impression over here.
You've spoken directly with a god?
Yeah, she tried to get me to join her side, some bullshit. It's kind of unimpressive.
We've looked into the gods here and the gods on our side. They're all almost identical. There's very little variation, just a little mythology here and there. Mostly their intentions and everything seem to be similar.
And is it possible that this isn't Guyana? Someone just using the name.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Why do you think that she's going to destroy your city?
Because she basically told us so.
And her followers have made that their priority, and she's made it clear that she is in their support.
Followers?
About a country's worth.
I don't know anyone but a god that could convince an entire country to do anything.
Well, they're the ones up there threatening to destroy our city. And literally, they destroyed an entire other city in this country. All the innocents, everyone, dead. So you can understand why we don't necessarily instantly jive with everything you're saying.
I understand. But Pimble taught me something a long time ago. Just because you get information last doesn't automatically make it wrong. We can't help you anymore. It's too dangerous for us to cross over. We're only gonna, anybody who comes through from here on out will only be, well, vampires. Or, I mean, if we can find a lich, I guess we could send a lich, but...
Please don't.
Yeah, no worries. Not even we like liches.
She says leech wrong. I don't know why.
If we're going to be sealing it from our side, we can't close it necessarily, but we're going to seal it. If you need us, you can come through. We'll have people posted, but it's very dangerous. It's more dangerous than we thought. It seems benign, but we're worried that there's spending too much time there can corrupt you in a strange way. It sort of unmakes you.
Well, we appreciate the warning.
We'll keep the information in mind.
I appreciate that. How about now? No?
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, there we go. Where did I lose you?
Her response to me saying we'd keep it in mind.
She kind of starts standing up. It would be nice if you could tell us what you're going to do. We understand if you need to make this decision on your own. Just remember, we're pretty sure it doesn't just affect you. It affects you twice.
Well, if you can have someone come and take out what's out there floating, that'd be nice. Because that's kind of what's threatening us right now.
The big pyramid thingy?
Yeah, that one. Little guy.
Is that
It's one of them.
where the god is? Is that where Guyana is?
No.
That's where followers are.
Yeah,
You're worried
if the
about,
followers
you're worried
don't
about
come here.
them. You're not worried about Guyana? I thought you said Guyana was coming to destroy the city.
It's a
They're
combination.
waiting for her to come.
Then I guess it doesn't really matter what you do to them. I mean, if we stop them, wouldn't that just piss her off?
Unless she's a good person like you think.
Even good gods have a vengeance tree. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but my understanding is that's what faith is all about, right? And she just stands up and kind of takes a step back, kind of crosses her arms across her body in a little uncomfortable position. I appreciate your time.
I'm sorry if we're not as responsive as you were hoping. We've had a lot of information to process, just in general, in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And also sorry for like giving you a weird look when you first walked in. Our interactions with you on this side was less than favorable.
It's a really nice way of saying
thought
it.
it was-
But yeah.
I thought I was dead over here.
there's
Or-
multiple aspects to that.
I guess I'm dead everywhere. All right. Well, thank you.
Also, for what it's worth, we don't want to destroy your world. That's
I
not
believe that.
definitely, regardless of what we're doing, that's not our intention.
I believe that. She shrugs a little. Bye. And she turns and starts heading for the door.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, I'm looking through my notes, and what about Cavan? That dog-head celestial person?
Oh, yeah. So, do you think this has anything to do with the, tigers in the pit story? One has to use the other. I already have one. Can I mark?
You can give it to someone.
I mean,
I've seen you miss. Why aren't you using that?
Because I'm holding on to it for things like when I get hit with this.
It's the elixir method. I have one
that's,
too.
Because that's how-
fair.
I just
It'll
made
happen
the
again.
save.
I mean, that's a good point, actually. So maybe?
What's this about a tiger pit?
Well, the story was that one can escape, but it has to stand on the other. So one can be free and the other is still in the pit.
what if, I mean, this might be a bit of a stretch, but she was talking about the Guyana on their side not being corrupted and not being twisted. What if part of the problem is that their Guyana is a combination of Hedwig and Guyana? So, like, instead of being two halves, theirs is just one whole. It's
Right, she
still
wasn't
not
shattered. That makes sense.
right. It's still not Kaz, but she's not insane because she's not literally split in half.
That's what it is, because there's no Nakosta on that side.
She never broke apart.
Right. But, I mean, the other thing is, too, is there a way to put her back together without putting Kaz back together? Because if we put Kaz back together, we don't know what's going to happen to Mari, except that it probably wouldn't be good. And not to mention any other Nakosta that might be in existence, but, Mari's the more pertinent one at the moment. And,
We have a couple of people that have fairly good intelligence in this group, right?
I think mine's actually a 12. That's the only reason Soxy doesn't do
Same.
more stupid shit than he
Anybody
does.
above a 12?
No.
It's a
8,
10.
no.
Okay,
Mine's a 12.
never mind. I will save that for assistance later when you talk to somebody who might know a little more.
So
This is
Pinball.
this is why we always go ask questions to Pinball, because he's smart and knows things, and we don't.
He's smart and does know things.
But I mean, maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe we could think of a way to do that. I mean, if that's the problem, if that's the reason she's so crazy ass bitch one second and creepy ass bitch the next, then maybe we could figure out a way to put the two halves together so she's not insane and awful, but without putting Kaz back together.
And maybe there's a way to do it so that, I mean, it might make people stop being Nakosta, but I mean, they might still be something. Like, would it be possible?
Yeah, that's
Like-
what happened to Jastra.
Yeah.
Lost the fact that she's in the coaster, but she's still alive. She's just an elf now.
Question is,
That's
how do we
true.
do that?
That's above my pay grade.
This is the freshman physics students trying to think well into like the 400 levels.
Yeah. Or anyone who tried to take physics at UC Davis.
Well, how about we go talk to Pinball, see what he thinks about all this.
I think that's a good idea.
I had another thought. It's not related, might make things more complicated. They said something about their world is ours isn't connected to it the way that everyone else's is. Is that maybe what's supposed to happen? Is we take their place and be the ones that are connected, or they stay connected to everybody else and we separate ourselves from them so they can
Well-
be free? And I don't know.
Wasn't Callie saying something about Hedwig wanting to combine the worlds?
She was saying something about Hedwig wanting to combine all the worlds to make one perfect world, and she wants Callie to decide the bits and pieces of it. But, I mean, with what Oshin was saying, maybe part of the problem is that in our world, it's the only one where Guyana is not complete. It's the only one where we've got Guyana and Hedwig as two halves, as opposed to still being together. Because if that's the problem, if ours is the one world where that happened, then that would explain a lot about why we've got this situation going on now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really good with theoretical magic things. I just do spells. I don't know. Let's go talk to someone who knows.
Yeah, but we should probably go talk to Pimble. I think that's a good idea. I mean, I don't know how all this magical theory works. I literally say a prayer and hit a thing with a sword and it does damage. So we should go talk to Pimble.
Bye, Ivy. It was good seeing you. Don't
You're
look
not
too
trained in
hard.
Arcana?
Me? I don't think I am. Let me check.
Oh, okay.
I am.
Nope.
These kind of waves.
I am not trained in athletics or in a Arcana.
I
no.
am. I'm trained in Arcana.
I was just curious.
My Arcana's a 2.
My Arcana's a 7.
Hey, it's positive.
Mine's a -1. I know
There you go.
nothing.
You know less than nothing.
Yeah.
You just hit. You just hit.
Weird though. I can
okay,
actually.
hit, but not kill. Only hit, no kill.
It's actually.
So you head off to Pimble's. Yes. All right. You guys make your way over to Pinball's building, tower, whatever, and you head on in and up the stairs into the foyer. Sheen's been there 1,000 times. No, she lives here.
It's
This is
crazy.
O'Sheen's
It's
house.
not like he
I don't know
lives
why we
here
call
or
it
anything.
Pinball's. It's Pinball and O'Sheen's.
Yeah. Soxy probably is still a little awkward and hangs
Soxy.
back a little. Yeah, it's Soxy's a little, but she doesn't remember it
That's
as
true.
well.
As you head on in, the place is eerily silent, a little bit more than it usually is. There's no skittering or playfulness or yelling or anything, and you quickly find out why. You head into the back warehouse where Pinball has all of his stuff set up, and he has in the center of the room, sometime in the middle of the night. You didn't know, you didn't come in and check on him. He came and found you before you left. Maybe sometime in the last couple of days. You probably haven't been here in a couple of days. He has constructed some large device. Actually, I guess it would have been last night. It looks like it has all these arms. It's about 12 feet across. At the end of each of the arms, there's these large spherical devices, lots of gears and things. Arland is here. Arland, Pinball, and Sparks are all poring over books while Glitter is asleep in the corner.
Well, that's certainly a project.
Arland looks up. They come here too, huh? He goes back to work. He gets up and comes and gives O'Sheen a big hug and a kiss. Hey, how's it going?
As well as it normally has been lately. We
So kind of meh.
yeah. What is this? What's
This is an orrery. This shows all of the different planes of existence. The Shadowfell. He just pointed different ones. The Shadowfell and the he points all of them out. And this is their positioning at different times of the year and different places, and we're trying to understand how that relates to everything.
Oof.
I see.
We have some information that just came from the other side. Turns out
All right.
they suggest that we just let Guyana come through because she's all benevolent and whatnot over there.
So as you say that, Sparks looks up at Arland and goes, "Oh, you were right," and then goes back to reading.
I'm sorry.
And Pimble goes, Go on.
Well, we had to explain that the Guyana over here encourages her followers to, commit genocide. And, well, that wouldn't be agreeable to simply let that happen.
Arlen
So-
kind of chimes up. There are a lot of gods that ask their followers to commit genocide. Doesn't mean they all do. And goes back to reading. He's been like this all day. Just don't ignore him. I've never seen him out of his professional environment. He's kind of an asshole. And he just smiles, and Arlen just kind of shakes his head.
Regardless, we kind of come to the conclusion, and I'm sure you've thought of this before, is that the primary difference is that in their realm, Guyana was separated from Cass, but wasn't separated into Hedwig and Guyana. Yeah. So, no Nacosta, none of that jazz. Just a missing for
Okay.
Bolg.
I can't fix this. I'm already here.
Oh, we lost a J.
Owen and Soxy, you've got to let me know what diet you're on, because you guys look extremely thin right now. You're going through a Wonka Vader. What was it called? I don't remember. Wonka Wash. What was it called? You had to say it backward. Wonka Wash. Ashwa. Unco. I don't know.
Melon.
Anyway,
Tentacles.
we were wondering, could that be the problem?
I gotta try to fix this. Hold on. It looks
No, we just
ridiculous.
cast
Okay, let me get rid of-
darkness on Soxy and Owen. It's fine.
I gotta hide myself, and that should fix it.
There we are.
That fix it? Yay!
Yeah.
That fixed it. All right. Sorry. As you do that, Glitter looks up and Pinball goes, "Oh, you were right." And Harland accepts that if we make a mistake here, what happens to the other realm?
They seem to think they disappear.
And Sparks goes, "Oh, you were right." All day with this. And I'll put
There
myself
we go.
back. And then I will go back to the 6-man.
6-person.
And you're right. And back to
I
6-person.
had to completely reconnect to the Wi-Fi. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It never said it
Okay.
went out. I just had to disconnect and reconnect. I don't know what happened.
Bye, Resin. Hello, friend.
It's a Finnick.
It is a Finnick. So Arlen kind of gets up and comes over at this point, and Pinball kind of walks over, is there as well. And they kind of look at each other, and they kind of look back, and Pinball looks up and says, I'm not sure what the difference is here when it comes to all of this. I don't know what is different on their side. I mean, if we could talk to them, maybe they could help us out. But what do we know that's different? What is missing, or what is there?
They have the ancients still on Lamina Island, and they never.
Why don't we?
Because they were the ones who caused the shattering, right? They were the ones who
The Goa freed themselves.
You guys, he picks up a book that looks very familiar. It looks exactly like one of your books, and starts to flip through it. I never got rid of mine. Sorry.
No, it's fine. We
And
just
he
stopped
starts to flip
adding to it
through.
because she had a copy.
And he starts looking into it, and people have been talking about adding into it. When did you guys stop adding into it? I
At
thought
what-
you clarified because she, hers stopped. Hers was at a certain point, and it was no longer.
Oh,
working.
like hers was the old one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
It
I missed
was
that.
current up to a certain point, which was supposed to give you a clue as to whose it was, because it stopped at a certain point that someone died. I'm trying to remember who it was off the top of my head, but but you guys never kind of caught on to that, and so, but it did stop. It was clear and open. The only thing that was different is it didn't wipe; it just became visible. So she did something to it, but other than that, it was not magical. So, but I do remember you guys talking about that. But I thought I clarified. Then again, 16 players, only 6 at a time. Probably only 6 of you heard it. But yeah, and that's why some of you still write in the book. So there was no reason not to write in the book necessarily. But I know the people that were talking about writing the book, recently and even towards the end of Lamina. So I know people were still doing it. So he starts, because that's the only way this information is getting to him. So he flips through it, says, no. Somebody had mentioned that it was that it was because of Cass. Something that Cass did.
Cass was trying to do something. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it
Cass was
triggered.
trying to stop being shattered, right?
No, it was the ancients. It was something about the ancients wanted to become gods themselves, I think, and they tried to get more power.
So what they were doing was they were trying to destroy the gods. That was their goal, was because the gods got too demanding of them. And they did. They succeeded. They destroyed the gods. However, Kaz hid away at the last minute. And Kaz, in that hiding away, created the shattering and rended a hole in the world, very much like the one you're looking at right now. But it led to the Feywild. And then the Ferosh and the Chitin and the Fey creatures started to infest Lamina Island from that. And that is where that was the start of the downfall of the ancients. That was all information you guys got from God, whatever. What's the one where you guys can talk to the gods and the avatars and things? I know that's all
Legend?
solid information you guys have. What is it?
Divination?
Divination, commune, one of those. Yeah, you got these.
Okay.
These are the
Commune.
pictures you started to solidify
Yeah.
in the history.
As you're saying it, I remember that. It was just so long ago.
Yeah,
My
no, it's
brain was
okay.
like, what?
It's okay. That's why we're going over it with this. Almost like we're helping everyone remember what the hell's going on.
Right. So, do you think then that what happened here that's different is that Kaz hid? And maybe in the other worlds they didn't, and so that's why in the other worlds they have all their gods and goddesses, and here we're sort of stilted.
Right. So Kaz hid, but what did that do? That doesn't really make any sense. I don't understand. He's still flipping through books. So besides the shattering, what was the result of Kaz hiding?
The Nakosta.
Right. So instead of splitting their essence, and Arlen kind of starts taking over and correcting him. So instead of splitting their essence and creating the gods and recombining with the gods, they spread their essence everywhere. They created little gods within everyone. Well, potentially anyone. But kept most of the power for themselves. But then they were no longer cast. They became the Baba Yaga, right? Inside of the Feywild. They became a Fey creature. And then what?
Well, at this point, the way it's been explained so far from what I remember is that the Baba Yaga and Kaz were basically the same. But after the shattering and the power going to other places, the Baba Yaga and Kaz became Guyena and Hedwig. But the neither one of them's whole. They've split the same body. And then there's also the Nakosta.
Hedwig.
That's what she calls herself.
Who is Hedwig in all of this?
The other half of Guyana.
So she claims.
If we are to understand all this correctly, if we are to trust ourselves, so to speak, then Guyana is already whole.
Is it
So who is Hedwig?
is it possible that she's just some sort of fey creature that's sharing the body? Because because there's other people that became fey and then they weren't themselves, but because Guyana is a goddess, she was able to keep that part.
What if? Because they're at odds with each other most of the time. What if Guyana didn't? What if Cass didn't split into the Nicosta by choice? What if Hedwig forced the split?
What you mean?
Our issue is the Guyana is not whole. Correct? That's potentially what's making her cruel over here.
Well, Kaz is not whole. But that's good. None of the old gods are supposed to be whole. So Guyana
No.
is a whole god that should have resulted from that. We know that much. I've never heard of Hedwig. Does anybody know if there's a god called Hedwig on the other side? Let's assume for a
Yes.
moment there's not. Has anybody ever mentioned the name Hedwig to anybody from the other side?
I
No.
don't believe so. No.
You
Not
just
that I
did
know
earlier
of.
today, but you did. You
Oh,
said it
okay.
in front of what's her name? She had no reaction.
We did say it earlier, actually, in front of. She kind of glanced. Well, actually, no, she wouldn't remember. In front of their version of Imelda.
Pinball just kind of like stops. He's still looking at the book, but he just kind of pauses for a moment. His eyes just kind of go a little glossy,
Yeah.
and then he
Heather feels bad. Soxy doesn't know.
Oh, she like quickly looks over at him. It's like,
to reading the book.
So then that means there's probably just no Hedwig over there.
So then, who is Hedwig?
The other half of the Baba Yaga, supposedly.
Maybe that's
could it
true.
be?
The Baba
Um,
Yaga was an incredibly powerful fae, one of the most powerful, only rivaled by what, Titania? Oberon?
Could it be that Hedwig is just the Baba Yaga and she's trying to take Guyana?
I mean, or vice
Did you
versa.
say- Did you say something about there not being many fae over in the other place? Over the Mirror World? Somebody mentioned that yesterday.
They don't have the opening to the to
The
just
Undermist.
really
Undermist.
lost it. Yes,
Why,
that.
why wouldn't they have that? Everything else seems so similar.
I don't know.
So the Baba Yaga shows up at the time that the shattering happens. And now, and he starts to like get up and the two of them start to turn the cranks on this gigantic orrery, and all the huge pieces start to swivel in place. It says now in 2 weeks time, here's what we have. Okay, so and they start to like talk in almost like babble speak. They speak a lot of words that you recognize some of. They say, so where would it have been during the shattering? And Arlen kind of goes, oh, I've been working on that. And he pulls up this several pages of a notebook that have calculations and things on them. And he says, judging by different the ages of the Nicosta that he knows and the different magical essence and auras on them and things, he goes through several different horribly detailed calculations, and he starts to reconfigure the orrery. All right. And people kind of look, you know what the problem is? And he's like, yes, we need another one. Crap.
Need another what?
And they just kind of point to the 12-foot wide orrery that takes up a full, huge size portion of this thing. We need another one that sits basically in exactly the same spot, but is mirrored.
Can't we use sending across the crack?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I just need a second one, but it would have to occupy the same space. We'll have to draw it out. It's going to take us hours, maybe days.
You mean it has to be in exactly the same spot?
Exactly the same spot. We need to see how they overlap. So it's got to be exactly this in this exact configuration, the exact same spot, just reversed
Oh,
and mirrored and
Owen?
adjustable.
does your
Yeah.
terrain thing, can you make items that aren't natural terrain?
It's specifically just terrain. I was gonna say I can create an object, but the problem is it's gotta occupy the same space.
Can't you put an illusion to just hold on to the one that's there, then let them...
I can create an illusion of this
Yes.
object. I just can't make it backwards, and it would take us 4 days to take this one apart.
You can't just use a really big mirror?
Can anyone make a very large mirror?
Yeah, pretty easily actually.
Can you make a lot of large mirrors all the way around?
That's a little bit more difficult.
All right, let's start with one, and they'll go off to the side and actually, no, above won't work, will it? Yes, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. This might be a bit overkill, and it might be not the best way to do
I
it.
love overkill.
Essentially, I can turn, looking at the info on the spell, I can turn a creature into an object. But I can't turn an object into an object. So I'd have to get a big-ass creature and turn it into a big-ass mirror.
I volunteer.
I could make a prime heart-sized mirror.
Can you
can't-
push them
can't
back?
polymorph an
It's not
object into another object?
Permanent, is it?
It specifically says object into creature, creature into object, and creature into creature. No object into object.
You don't have any other illusion spell?
Well, I have illusion spells. I just can't create something physical.
Well, they don't need it to be physical. They just need the illusion of
Oh.
it.
Then in that case, greater image.
Oh yeah. Okay, there you go.
I
So
love
yeah,
everything
that's all right.
about
So that
that
makes a lot more
conversation.
sense.
I can make a prime heart-sized mirror,
I don't need it to
But
move.
not
Only this
an
one. needs to
actual
move.
mirror.
So I was
With a
trying to
ninth
say,
level
that's what I
spell.
was gonna say.
Yeah, don't waste that. We might need it.
Dude, that's a ninth level
so
spell,
after
my
a few
dude.
moments of understanding exactly what they want, Owen, and he just casts Greater Image, and there is a mirrored version of the orrery, exactly in the same spot, kind of overlapping, kind of ghostly sort of image to it, and they start to kind of like crawl up inside of it. That's interesting. And they're pointing to one sphere that is represented, they pointed earlier to the Feywild. And it overlaps perfectly with the other sphere from the Feywild. This is the point. This is when the shattering happened. It didn't just happen to our Feywild.
It happened.
It may not have
theirs
happened to our
as well.
Feywild at all. Lamina may be the complete result of all of the Fey energy from their world leaking into ours.
All of it?
I mean, the vast majority of it, if it doesn't really have a presence there.
I mean, that might
Pinball had
explain a
mentioned
few
that somebody
things.
said that there was very little Fey understanding there at all, other than legend. A couple of Fey creatures here and there, but nothing concrete.
That might explain a lot. I mean, I don't know for certain. Obviously, my memory's got a few gaps in it, but from everything I've read and everything I've been told, I mean, the Feroce and the Chitin, we resulted from Fey energy leaking into Lamina Island. And they don't have the Feroce or the Chitin over there. Oh, well, they've got us, but it's not exactly the same. We're really, really rare. They hardly ever see any of us.
So essentially, the difference is they don't have a Feywild at this point.
Right. So the question still stands. Who is Hedwig? It's not a Fey creature I've ever heard of.
Could it potentially be something from their Feywild?
Assume that the energies that came over would have to have been extremely powerful to survive in any sort of cohesive way. So it would have to be a very powerful Fey.
Could she be the Baba Yaga or queen or something from their world who ended up here
Well, the
and
Baba
now
Yaga
is
here
trying
only
to
existed because of this merger. So it has to be someone else. I mean, it could just be any Fey energy. But if this is a Fey creature, it would make sense why it's locked to the island. At least. And they kind of turn and look at the orrery again until the solstice. If there were to be another shattering, it wouldn't just affect the Feywild over there. It might affect everything. It might not just be their world destroyed. Their entire world may flood into ours.
Is that why she wanted Callie to decide things? Because
Why she-
the world will
What did she want? Sorry, I missed it.
Callie to decide things.
That could be, I mean, because it was Hedwig who had you guys over, who had Callie trapped in the other world, right? It wasn't Guyena. It was Hedwig who came and talked to her, wasn't it? DM?
Yes.
So what if Hedwig,
Wait, Hedwig was in the other world?
she was, yeah.
Was it only Hedwig?
I don't know. I know that
As far as
Hedwig was the one who had Callie trapped, as far as I know.
Was Callie actually trapped?
I believe she was
Yeah.
until she made some sort of agreement.
As far as
She
we're
made-
concerned, she was. Yeah.
She made a deal, like a Fey deal.
To their world's only powerful Fey creature. One powerful enough to walk between the two worlds. So that means that whatever Fey creature that is must still exist here. Or maybe that's why it can't leave Lamina. Maybe that place counts as their fae. And it can stay there until it can't.
That
Until the two merge. Once they're both in the same place, it might be able to go anywhere.
that would explain why she wants to kill her sister. If she kills the other half of the body she's sharing, would she take on Guyana's power? Would she take on Guyana's place?
Depends on how she kills her. In the other world, the shattering still happened, but it didn't happen in a physical sense. It only happened to the gods. Here, there was a metaphysical shattering of the realms. All information that we had seemed to indicate that it was the Feywild. We thought it was our Feywild because we didn't know there was another. And now here we have another. It would make sense why our Feywild is extremely strong and there's been never any damage seeming dealt to it, but all of that Fey energy just exists there in our prime material. It would also make sense why we couldn't teleport there.
Because it was practically another plane.
Until there's enough energy to lock it together.
When the last pillow was charged.
And the timing was right. That's why the island was trying to hide it. They weren't trying to hide it from Guyana.
They were hiding it
They were
from...
trying to hide it from Hedwig.
Well... Fuck.
Agreed.
So, now we have to figure out how we take down Hedwig.
And
Who
where
made a deal
Guyana...
and what was the deal?
Galen made a deal, and I believe, as far as we know, it was to be the arbiter of what parts of the realms get mixed together.
All right. I don't know what that means exactly.
It seemed to be something like Hedwig planned to kill her sister, and in doing
Right.
so was going to merge our realm and the other world. And basically the deal was that Callie had to be the one to decide which parts of which worlds got kept.
Fae always tell the truth. But it's never the whole truth, is it? He kind of just looks up at the clock on the wall. You, all of that is true, it seems. She does want to kill Guyana. Guyana is a god here, or supposed to be a god here. Hedwig is going to kill Guyana, creating another shattering, and then the two realms are going to merge, by which that realm will flow into this one. And Callie gets to choose what to keep and what not to keep.
So then the question is, what's motivating Kyros? If Guyana isn't actually... I guess she's still corrupted in some way.
She's been corrupted by whoever Hedwig actually is.
An eternity of mind games. Literal mind games inside.
And she's not whole. I mean, she's whole, but she's got some...
Controlled or something.
Well, They each only get half the day or something like that. It's like at a certain time they switch who's in control of the
Are you
body.
sure?
That's how it's always looked, as far as we know.
But we're dealing with a fake creature.
That's true. And
I would say we need to be very careful about anything that we quote unquote know that was only learned from the fake creature.
it just occurred to me, but she, at least a couple of times that I saw them switch, she made comments about how her sister was going to show up in in a minute. It took a minute for some sort of switch to happen. There's a lot of spells that take a minute to cast.
Kind of
there's
looks
a-
to Arlen, and Arlen looks back. I'll take a look. Could be something we don't know, but I'll do some research.
Or, not cast, sorry. There's a lot of spells that last for a minute. So,
Right.
maybe it's something like that. Some sort of ability where she can give control over to the other one.
Or are we even seeing Guyana at all?
That's fair.
Just because someone calls something a duck doesn't mean it's a duck. Arlen's like, this has been very productive. And he goes back to his book. I think that it has. I just don't know what to do with the information yet. At this point, though, it sounds like our friends on the other side, they're telling the truth. I think Hedwig is the problem.
I mean, especially given what you and Arlen just found, yeah.
So, question is, can anyone here who is not me and is a bit closer with the folks upstairs ask their god what the fuck Hedwig is?
That's a good question. Also, the other question is, how does one destroy a god?
With stones, apparently.
All right, we have a god-shattering weapon, don't we? That charges up and only works. And he looks back at the orrery. In a week. 6 days to be exact. See people like. So then, what do we do? What do you do?
I have to tend to Cinderhaven, first and foremost. This is beyond my level of expertise in terms of the Fae and the gods, and I have no idea how we handle that. All I can do is fight whatever comes in front of us.
Arlen kind of looks up for a moment. Nope, sorry. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna do a roll. Sparks looks up. Fucking proud dad face. Didn't you say something about only the powerful Fae making it through the shattering? And Arlen just kind of goes, If Aunt Callie is choosing who and what comes through, does that mean only the powerful things will survive? Arlen kind of closes his book for a second and just ponders. Dramatic music. What's dramatic? Pinbo looks very defeated at that comment. And Sparks looks kind of sad. like he did something wrong, and kind of just goes back to his book.
Kneel down and scritch Sparks.
I don't think he's wrong.
So what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know that any mortal creature will survive. Or immortal material creature. It'll be fiends, celestials, fae. The prime material will be destroyed utterly, more than likely. And then the resulting creatures that come through, if Callie isn't able to stop it, if somehow that was a lie, those creatures are going to destroy everything. They'll have no place to go. This realm will not work the way they expect it to. Like trying to walk through your house blind, but everything has been reversed. You'd be running into everything. You'd have a million stubbed toes. Why you have a million toes, I don't know.
So then the only option is to prevent it in the first place.
Which means what?
It means we have to figure out how to stop Hedwig.
If Hedwig is that powerful, I don't know how you're going to do that. Well, I suppose with a god-killing weapon might work.
I figure that's about all we got.
Which means you have to... Well, assuming that Callie's... Worst case scenario here, of course. Assuming that Callie's agreement included her in some way helping, or at least not being able to stop Hedwig, you then have to overtake the weapon from Hedwig and use it, I suppose. Does Hedwig have an army?
Potentially.
Mm,
A fae that powerful might have made a lot of bargains in their time.
Bargains, yes, but
that's true.
well, we'd have to see if they have any fae ties here.
We do know that, again, as far as I know, this is the truth. It might have been an illusion, it's hard to say, but it looked as though she had a lot of drow, female drow, possibly spellcasters, tied up in a hut one of the last times I was there. We think she was using, well, or incapacitated or something, but we think she was using them to charge the pillars on Lamina. At least that's the impression we got. But again, how much that's the truth is hard to say.
Priestesses of Rent. Sort of like the one that's been bouncing around here, saying this is...
All right.
You know, there are some days where you gotta wonder why you got out of bed.
Well, the alternative is that no one has beds in about a week.
Yeah, I know.
When Saxy said that, Pimple just looked at Ocean and smiled.
I never question waking up in the morning. I didn't want to say that because it sounded like kind of a jerk thing to say, but every morning I wake up and I look at the sun rising and realize I woke up another day. I don't regret that. But I can understand being in the situation. You feel like you have a lot of responsibility, and
I think.
it's whatever.
I think Soxy understands that waking up is a good thing. It's the getting out of bed part. Enjoying and appreciating the simpler things, as opposed to getting up to deal with the responsibilities.
Yeah, well, and I've got more than my fair share of those.
Well,
More than a lifetime's worth, in fact.
just one more week, and then I guess no one has to worry about that anymore. You just stay in bed all day.
Yeah, mine doesn't go away unless everything goes away.
Well,
You don't
can't
have to go
comfort,
after
that
him
might be a
immediately.
possibility.
You don't have to go after him immediately,
Just die a few hundred more times and forget everybody, then go after him.
What if you just, next time, you somehow game the system so you just forget about him, and then the deal doesn't work anymore because you don't remember him, so you can't go after him, so you're just sort of around.
I think I'd die then. I'm pretty sure this thing would stop working at that point.
Or you'd have to go through life not understanding why these things happen to you, not knowing what your true purpose is until someday you happen to accidentally kill him.
That sounds worse.
Okay, that's all.
I've taken precautions. She holds up her notebook. I've been taking lots and lots of notes and writing down lots of journal entries. So when I forget stuff, I've got backups. And Arland made it so that it never runs out of paper. And it's not easy for it to be damaged. So
You're welcome.
That's good.
There was one other Fae that we didn't think about to talk to that made it through both the worlds.
which one's that?
Yivris, the one that gave me the apple in Lamina.
Oh,
He was
that's
funny.
right.
He was
Yeah.
to help Jastra be able to get us home.
Do we have a way to summon him?
I have an apple he gave me.
Didn't that just make you human? Like, isn't that what he said it would do?
He didn't tell me what it would do.
There was no agreement. It was just an apple.
He just gave me it.
But it beats any of the other Fae that we know.
Yeah. It just...
And haven't worked towards.
It was just the information we learned yesterday from, it was Vassifer, I think. That told us he existed in that world too, not just here.
So, if he's powerful enough, he might know who Hedwig is. He'd probably want a deal of some kind to give us the information, but it might be worth it depending on the deal. To know what we're dealing with and what we're fighting.
She'll take out the apple. This is all I have. Do we
I
want
have
to
a
try to
question.
contact him here? Or...
Well, first, the question we always gotta ask before we start one of these things is, if he asks for something, what are we willing to give up?
Well, last time I went in saying not much, and then I offered a lot. So, I've already made one of these deals.
In terms of giving things up, I've got a lot of experience with that lately. And it turns out that if the ends justify the means, I can give up quite a bit. And she kind of sadly glances over at Pimble.
You shouldn't have to.
I'm gonna have to eventually anyway.
I know, but you shouldn't have to.
If you promise yourself to multiple creatures, do they like fight over you?
I don't want to test.
I'm not saying I'd
I
swear
don't know.
myself over to him or anything like that. Not like what happened with Loxley, but if I have to give up my memories of an event to something to get his help, I've already forgotten so many things. I literally wouldn't know the difference.
If we win, I would honestly give up anything. I'm at wit's end.
We don't even know what he's going to ask for, so...
Yeah.
Or what kind of information he'd be willing to give us for what we trade, so we might as well see if we can talk to him and go from there. We've got some experience dealing with Fae now. We know not to just, offer him everything. And, we could start there.
Mari, are you still on Acosta?
I am, yes.
Would you be willing to give that up? Because I'm pretty sure he'd want that, maybe. Wasn't he interested in that before?
I think he got that from Jastra.
Mm-hmm.
He needed the energy in order to get back home to the Feywild. God damn it, so many fucking clues we missed.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
As I glare at Logan. He might still be willing to trade for it, because it is power that he doesn't have currently. Fey-like power, at least from what we've seen.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what he asks for.
Yeah,
Assuming
let's
the
not...
apple.
Yeah, I think that's
let's not make that the first thing we offer, but...
He is called
Yeah.
Firestarter, though, so should we be in someplace less flammable?
I think if he wanted to start a fire anywhere, he could. Just saying.
That's probably true.
It's an apple, so Mari is gonna take a bite out of it, because I don't know what else to do with it. It's a fucking apple.
Could make pie.
I could. It's a little late for that, though, because I already said I was gonna bite into it. Oh, shit.
One apple
So
does
you-
not a pie make.
Tart. You take a bite out of this apple and eat. Does Mari like apples normally?
Yeah, normally, yeah.
This is the most delicious apple you have ever eaten in your life. You would easily pay a gold to have another apple like this. This is like one of those $6 peaches they sell 50 of in California here.
Uh-huh.
That's it every year. That's the real thing. It's probably more than 50, but there's fucking really $6 peaches here. I think they sell like 50 trays of them. Is about all they get every year. It's harvested at a very particular time. It's like what's the other thing that we get? Cotton candy grapes. You can get them for about a week of the year, and that's it. Anyway, sorry. Tastes like cotton candy. It's a real thing, and they're amazing. And it's not artificial; it's real. So, as you take this apple, it is really the most delicious apple you've ever tasted in your life. As you kind of break off a big piece of it, where you would normally see seeds in it, there are no seeds.
We lost a J again.
Yes.
Yay, come back.
Jay! Poor Jay, no los dos.
I'm just gonna, while we're paused, I'm gonna go research cotton. Nope, hello, the cotton candy grapes. I'm gonna do that later tonight too, because I'm
Cotton candy
insanely curious.
They're very.
They are very good.
That's such a foreign concept to me.
Yes, but then how would they charge like $9 a bushel, 12-sided guy? All right.
Oh, no, fruit's expensive. Different ones all over the place. Melons cost like $50 in Japan.
Yeah.
But they have square ones.
But the regular melons, like a small freaking cantaloupe, is like $50 because melons don't grow well over there. It's insane.
Nobody's dead yet. Next week,
It's a
Kyle, next week.
hybrid. Sorry, I'm genuinely researching. It's a hybrid of a grape. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a hybrid. How do you have a grape and cotton candy? Never mind.
Two different
Anyway, it is
grapes,
the most
two different grapes.
delicious, wonderful apple you literally have ever had in your life, and you will not ever. You'll probably never ever have another one because there are no seeds in here. There's no way to plant it
Yeah,
and grow another one.
I figured that
It reminds you of
something I could do.
something that you have here. The skyberries. They don't have
Oh,
seeds
yeah.
either.
Yeah, after trying to grow them, yeah, Mari's fully.
So, what are you doing while you take a bite of the apple?
She's. I guess the best way to describe it is she's genuinely trying to contact Eubrus in any way that she can. She wants him to come here if it's at all possible, but she's just focusing that thought on the creature that she met and almost maybe have made a deal and then didn't. So
All right. So as you take this bite and you're just like in awe of this apple, you kind of look down and you see that there's no seeds in it. But you also notice as you kind of pull the apple back a little bit that the bite that's been taken out of it sort of kind of looks like a little face for just a half a second. And then it's gone. You kind of shakes off and it's not there anymore. Everybody but Mari, immediately behind Mari, just kind of sitting there on the chair or something, is a small little fey creature. It is a satyr, and he has little goat legs. He's got them crossed, and he's got his hands on his knee. Not really his knee, I guess, but and he's just got a big grin on his face, and he's wearing this like this like smoking jacket, like this kind of bluish smoking jacket for a top, and he's got a little pipe in his mouth, and it's not lit. He just sits there as Mari just kind of like looks around, doesn't really see him because she's not looking behind her for some reason. And
Oh, look, it's the fire starter guy.
I guess if that she'll turn around, like what the fuck?
as you turn around, he like pulls the pipe out of his mouth. Oh, hello. How are
Hi.
you? I knew you'd be back. They always come back. And he takes a bite out of the pipe. Starts chewing it. Looks like it's made of chocolate.
To answer your question, in general, not great. So
He offers you a bite of his pipe.
she'll take a bite, I guess.
It's chocolate. You
Okay.
feel a little better because it's chocolate.
Okay. Still weird as shit, but okay.
You wouldn't take anything from me last time, and now you've taken a bite of my apple and my pipe. I'm very excited.
Yeah. We need help.
Oh, I love hearing those words. However, I have a feeling you don't want to pay my prices.
Depends on what they are.
Oh, I'm not talking to you. You're already spoken for.
It depends on what they are.
What do you need help with?
We need information. And potentially help in the coming
Oh,
fight.
I love information. Sometimes it can be very expensive.
I figured. And, if at all possible, help in the coming fight.
Oh, you want me to participate? To do what? Save this little world of yours?
And the mirror world?
You know, it's funny. I go to a lot of different places. I've talked to a lot of different versions of myself. Oh, I've seen them anyway. I talk to myself sometimes, thinking there might be another one nearby. I've never been able to go there.
There's a version of you that's there.
I've heard this.
Yeah.
Rumors floating around about me. I love rumors about me. So, You need my help, and you need some information. Tell me, what would you like to know?
There is a creature that we're not sure their place in all of this yet, and we'd like to know who they are. Their name is Hedwig.
Sits up and finishes off the pipe.
Their name is Hedwig. They're part of Cass and Gianna and that group that we were dealing with in Lamina.
Hedwig. Interesting name.
Is there another one you know them by?
I'm not saying I know them at all. I'm not saying I don't know them at all. So, what's in it for me? I coined that phrase, by the way. Did you know that?
Well, what's your price?
Well, let's see here. This information actually isn't that valuable, and I don't normally volunteer that, but I know what else you're asking me for today, so that is much more valuable. I would need something very special, something that is yours, that you really don't want to part with. I don't really care what it is. Something important. This can be physical or metaphysical.
Mari actually, she starts to fiddle with that bracelet you guys have seen for the entire campaign. Like, actually messes with it. Why would you need it? What would you
I
use it
had
for?
one woman give me the color of her hair. Sorry, go ahead.
What did you say? Because you cut out for me and I did not catch it.
He said that he had one woman give him the color of her hair.
What would you use it for?
The power within items that we want but can't have is so great. Honestly, it would just sit around. A trophy. For now. Later, who knows? I would use it as I need, whenever I need, to do whatever it is that I wish at the time. It would be mine at that point.
I may have something like that. And she'll take off the bracelet. You said that it's something that we don't want to part with,
Yes.
correct? My father gave me this. It's a little bronze bracelet that has animals carved on it that she's had since before the start of the campaign. It's the only thing I have left, so.
He holds his hand. He gets off and walks over and he holds his hand out.
She'll put it in his hand.
As you put it in his hand, it just kind of vanishes. And he just kind of wisps his hand a little bit. Not the only thing you have left. Not anymore.
No. Not anymore.
I knew a woman whose nickname was Hedwig. She doesn't like it. She actually worked very hard to remove it from the annals of history. Fey history, of course. And see, when you're that powerful, when you're a queen, you can do that sort of thing. The only Fae I've ever heard called Hedwig before is Tatiana.
Okay.
See? Probably something you could have found yourself in a few weeks or more of research. Didn't take too much.
Probably, but we don't exactly have a few weeks, so.
I see.
So does that mean that's the queen from their Feywild or from ours?
I've spoken to the one from yours, I believe. They're very much alive and well. So, yes, I would guess that, from what I've understood of the conversation you had earlier, sorry, I couldn't help myself, yes, I would say that is Tatiana. One of the only fake creatures that... Sorry, what am I saying? Titania. I screwed that up. I'm so sorry. My brain was completely broken. It's the accent. It's the accent, I'm sorry. Titania, right? Titania? And now I think D'Artagnan, and I'm like, fucking, no, that's definitely not right. Yes, it's a musketeer wannabe. Oh yes, very much. I would say that yes, I would agree with you 100%. One of the only Fey creatures powerful enough, besides myself, to come over. But if it was me, oh, I would know. And this world would never be the same. So, anything else I can tell you? You have a little change coming.
Do you know of a way to either bind or any kind of weakness that she might have?
Yes, I do know quite a few of her weaknesses, but I save those for very special occasions. I'm not sure that in this state that she would have the same proclivities. I'll tell you this. If she's anything like our Titania, if you can get an answer out of her, it's probably the truth.
Why would she be in between Cass and what's the other one's name? Jesus Christ. Gianna. Why would she put a wedge between them?
I'm not sure she did. I don't know a lot about what happened back then. I was a little busy doing my own thing. I hadn't quite been banished just yet. You see, we didn't know anything about this. Well, at least I didn't. I suppose somebody might have. This whole Lamina thing. I see other versions of myself, and I see the ancients there in most places.
If you've seen the ancients, do you know how to use the weapon that's on Lamina Island?
Oh, very much so, yes. Although I don't dare. I might do something naughty.
How can we use it against quote-unquote Hedwig?
very simple. You need to be in the temple, and you need to be the stronger will. When the time is right, it's only a matter of a wish to unmake the world. Or remake it, or change it, or twist it, or whatever you wish.
Sounds simple, which means it probably isn't.
Oh, it's very simple. The answers are complicated.
And the question is, how do we find ourselves competing with the will of a near godlike being?
That I can't help you with. You gotta finish that apple.
Am I supposed to?
I would. But then again, I finish everything.
Is there anything you could do to help
So
with the pyramid that's floating outside the city?
Quite a lot.
What would it cost us to have you help us with it? Is the other
Quite
question.
a lot.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Actually, you, nothing.
Yes,
I'll see you at the end of everything.
that's not ominous or anything.
Well, it depends on the choices you make. Depends on the choices we all make, I suppose. Like if I'm going to help you or not. It won't be free and it won't be cheap. It sounds like you desperately need me.
Oh, we do.
What would be your price?
I think he's being sarcastic.
Probably it's what he does.
Oh, alright. Well, it would have to be something very significant. I don't think any of you have anything physical that you'd be willing to give up that is that significant.
I keep racking my brain.
Yes, you have nothing. You really don't really care about a lot of people, do you?
No, it's not that. It's that I have nothing to give that's my own. If I give you my title, I can't lead. If I give you my voice, I can't inspire. If I give you anything I have, it's taken away from other people.
That's sort of the point. The more people that it affects, the more valuable it is. Actually, you have one thing that I would desperately love to get my hands on, but you'll never give it up.
And that would be...
I just love your beard. And he just looks back to Mari.
That's it?
No. You have a certain way with people. As a matter of fact, when you speak, mountains move. Quite literally sometimes. At least in some of my worlds. You can walk into a room and everybody turns to look at you. Now that happens to me too, but that's because I'm a strange, funny-looking goat man. They turn to look at you because you command the room. I love that. That is what I would want. You'll never give it up. Your leadership, your... I don't know what.
Unfortunately, I think if I give up what you're asking for, I become useless to pretty much everyone.
Very full of yourself, aren't you? Think you're that important now?
Well, I think there's still some I could do.
That's sort of the point. If I took away something that didn't matter, then what good would I be? How would it be powerful? How would it be worth anything? You all have things that you won't give up. None of you have anything that you will, or that you can. He looks at Soxy. Do you enjoy that thing inside of you?
Most of the time I don't notice it. Enjoy's a strong word.
Most of the time you don't notice it. Well, maybe you do have something to give up. I'll come back to you. Anyone else? I can come back next week. Yes, I know you won't be giving up any of your children or anything, I know.
Stubborn like that.
It's just the love of your children. Just love of one of your children. Just give me that. Wait, who's the little obnoxious one that can't get anything right?
Neither of them.
Oh, damn.
They're both amazing.
Yeah.
Once you can get them to admit that one is lesser than the other, I can usually talk them into it. I didn't think you'd be that quick-witted. Working on that apple?
Mari hasn't touched the apple since.
No trust.
Can you really blame us?
Yes, I did tell you that it was not going to affect you at all, and it hasn't affected you until now, but my words do change things, don't they? I promise you'll like it, but it's up to you. Maybe give it to that tall fellow that ate the brains. That was very interesting. He'll eat anything.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
actually
God.
will.
Mike, you'll eat anything.
Super serious, kind of tense moment. We're just like, oh shit.
That's kind of what we do. You should have seen him last night during the. Oh, you were there
I was
during
there.
the mom voice.
I do imagine there's something I actually can give you.
I
really want
doubt
to.
it. I mean, my power does not come cheap, especially for what you're asking. And you basically want me to destroy a city of people.
You asked for it before.
Oh, what was that? Refresh my memory. I ask so little, but it's so important. All right, I ask a lot. Get over it.
What I am. The essence of what I am.
Oh, I don't need that anymore. Thank you, though. I already got to where I needed to get to. That's all I really wanted. I mean, yeah, a little piece of a god here or there, but what do you really need it for? I'm home. I don't have any concerns anymore. I mean, I suppose if you want to trade that for something else, I'd be willing. Something smaller.
You mentioned the end of everything.
Yes.
Seems like it'd be awfully lonely.
No, in none of my possible futures do you and I ever hook up. Calm down.
That's not what I meant. What I meant, though, is that it'd be lonely to be by yourself at the very end. And after I kill...
I have me.
Alright, fine.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
After I kill Baphomet, my soul becomes my own again. I think technically I might be dead at that point, but you're powerful enough you could probably figure out a way around that. If I've already been alive that long, what's a few 100,000 more years
Or eternities.
hanging out with
There are
someone.
lots of creatures that will be around at the end of things. I'd like to let you know that just now. I'm sure that there's all sorts of things. There'll be celestials and fiends and other ones. You think Baphomet will be the last fiend? The guy can't even play cards.
No, but I can play cards.
Hmm.
It's an option. I don't know what it's worth.
You'd think that souls would become more valuable with age, but they really don't. And I'm not a big soul
No, I
taker.
don't mean my soul. I mean,
Well, you're mentioning your soul an awful lot.
I'm not phrasing this well. Words are not my strong suit. She glances over at Owen. What I'm saying is,
Oh, translators. Yes, I love this part.
Owen might understand what I'm saying, actually. I'm not saying it very well, apparently.
You're saying companionship, not just someone to keep in company as a, not like a super serious like commitment, other than just
Yeah,
being
it cannot be
friends for
tied down.
eternity.
Yes, thank you. That's it. I'm not saying that my soul belongs to you or anything like that, and I'm definitely not saying I'm going to sleep with you. I'm saying that at the end of time, if you don't want to be by yourself, and if I've already killed Baphomet, which I guess I probably would have had to if it's the end of time, then, after that, after my obligation to Ataloxley is over, if you want someone to just hang out with you and be a friend and listen to your jokes and not have you be by yourself. I've already been around that long. I might as well be around a bit longer.
Where do you think you're going to go at the end of everything?
I don't know.
There's a chance.
Be interesting
you're
to
going
find
stay-
out.
You're going to outlive the Celestials. Quite a few of them. Many of the gods. There may no longer be a place for you to go. You may be stuck with me anyway. And what are we going to do? Sit around and ignore each other forever?
You'd be surprised. I can be pretty dense if I want to be.
Me too. A few thousand years, I'm sure. I'm not interested in what I can gain at the end of it. I'm interested in what I can gain now. And you have nothing so far.
Not
None
that
of
I
you
know
do.
of.
Nothing that you're willing to give up.
I don't know what I can give up,
You can't.
honestly, at this
You've
point.
given everything. And you're going to continue to give everything. And anything that I might take from you would only be lost as soon as you gave it. So no thank you.
What do you mean?
If I was to say take your love for your friend Oshin, oh, how much would I love that? As soon as you've decided or been forced to forget your friend Oshin, it leaves as well. It only has power because of your regret and loss.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You have nothing I could want.
Fair enough. I hadn't thought of it that way, to be honest.
Not a fae. I mean, you sort of are, but not quite.
Not the same.
Well, this has been fun. Finish your apple, and I'll be off.
What would you ask of me?
I'm not saying you have to finish it now. I'm just saying you have to finish it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What would you ask of me? What would you take? What can you take?
Oh, really? You're being serious. I know what you think I'm going to ask for.
Surprise me then.
You think I'm going to ask you for your love of Nathan. And you'd be right. Normally. These aren't normal circumstances. And I know you'd never give that up, but there is something you might give up. Because she gave it up for you. How poetic.
Fine.
You understand what I'm asking?
To a degree, but if you want to explain it more, I wouldn't be mad.
They'll be just another person to you. No friendship, no late night laughter. You remember those things, but you have no emotions attached. You'll look at them almost like a stranger or somebody, an acquaintance that you're familiar with.
Considering she's not here,
She's not there, but I've seen her.
I've seen her too, but most of the time she's not here.
I'm only taking the positive emotions, the true love, the true essence of it. You'll be left with everything else.
We need your help.
What is it you want me to do?
Primeheart brought up the Flying City.
Do you want me to end it? The fight is still
possibility.
coming.
Or just give us aid in whatever way you can fighting Guyana.
Oh, I can do that. I just would like to be very, as you would say to me, specific.
The issue is, if Guyana gets through, anything he does like that might be undone in a second. We're talking about a god here.
I will put my reputation at stake that anything that I do, whatever you ask of me, will be maintained throughout your combat. Throughout the rest of the battle, throughout the rest of your lives. I will go
Yes.
back on my deals. One way or another, I'll make it happen.
The other city, the one that's on its way.
It's a bit
Please.
smaller, but fine. I have floating cities, they're hard to tell.
The one that completely destroyed Highwater. Could he at least hold them off until there's no more fighting? Or they give
Could you...
wholeheartedly, truly?
Okay, so you're willing to take down a city, but how are you with hearts and minds?
That's a little more difficult, as you know. Well, not for you. I'm not so good with heart and minds. However, that doesn't mean I can't help you. What is it exactly you want to do? I know you made quite an impression the other day.
As many defectors as humanly possible. From the clergy, from the infantrymen, every level, as many people fleeing. That'd be useful.
Hold on one moment. And he kind of sits back in the chair a little bit, and he closes his eyes, and he starts to kind of let this weird sort of droning sound come out of his mouth, like and he does that for like about a minute, doing these weird kind of just hollers out, and he kind of comes back around. Oh, that was fun. All right, so I've gone and taken a look, well, at least through some of my other versions of myself. Not many of them are in this situation. It's very interesting. At least from their understanding, there are quite a few that are ready to go. More than you might know. There are a lot of people that don't believe in what they're doing. But they're scared, Owen. They don't want to die. And that's what they're doing. They're killing people. Anybody who defects or detracts. And they don't even need to know necessarily where they are. They are very powerful. Are you trying to prevent death, Owen?
I'm not that naive.
I am very good at death.
It's war. The only thing you can do is minimize.
That's true. So,
Can you move the floating island, the floating city?
oh, well, there's an idea.
Could you keep it trapped
Although
somewhere?
I think they'll just bring it right back. Trapped? No, but I can move it somewhere else here.
On this
Under
plane?
the ocean?
Under the ocean will kill a lot of people, Owen. I have better ways to kill people.
I was going to ask if you could put it over the middle of the ocean. Not in it, just over the middle of it, so it's really far away.
Well, back to Kiros in the middle of the ocean, whatever you wish. Lavender.
Not Lamina.
Could just teleport back though, couldn't it?
Well, you'd have to stop those little ships from doing that, sure. Took a good, what, minute or two? It's a long time during a fight.
Could you neutralize the...
Several hours could pass in that 2 minutes.
Can you neutralize the air shell that the city's floating on?
Oh, that's difficult, but not impossible. Do you want me to just land the city? I mean, I can just ground it. That's that's possible.
Question is, what are we trying to get out of this? Because we're already looking at ways to ground the city. We're already looking at what this is a bigger opportunity than that.
Now
To
you'll
keep
think.
the second one from coming.
You could do better, bigger.
Ground the second one in over high water so
Why
that there's
would we
already
map
another.
up the cities at all? Do you think the cities are your biggest threat, Owen?
No.
General?
At this point, I think it's the clergy.
Could you trap
The clergy is
the
one, but
clergy in a giant
High priest.
anti-magic field?
The high priestess. That's coming to see
That's true.
through.
There's so many things. Ugh.
all of the. Owen, I think you're going to take care of the people just fine. I think it's really the higher ups that are going to be the issue. All of the clergy, as you like to say, are all worshiping the same goddess, correct?
Yeah.
I might be able to, for a very short time, sever that connection. It's something I developed a long time ago for a different project.
That could be very useful at the right moment.
Say for about, 20 seconds or so.
Enough
It would
for,
take
to
some
prevent
seconds.
them from doing something like what they did with the lake.
Timed correctly, considering they seem to be so well in sync, I might be able to get them to waste it completely.
I think that's the best idea we've
And
had so
for
far.
a few moments, none of them would be able to access any of their spells.
And that would probably shake their faith pretty fiercely.
Giving Owen time to step up and change hearts and minds. I love it. It's a good plan. Let's do it. And he turns and reaches his hands out to Mari.
It's a good plan, but are you sure, Mari?
Yes, and she'll reach out and take his hand.
shakes his hand, and Mari, you just instantly become sad because she's on your mind, obviously. The more and more you think about Haley, the more that you try to bring forth the ideas and things that's happened, even if you try to push them down, they keep popping up because you hope that you might be able to pull one of those happy feelings, a gift that she gave you, something out. And every time you think about it, you just think about the sadness, you just think about the loss, you think about the hurt in every one of those moments. It takes you to those moments where you saw her angry, coming in and hurting and killing and crying. No matter what, from here on out, that's the only way you can think of her. Oh, I'm gonna get sad if I stay around. Just call to me on the battlefield. I'll be there. I'll know that that's your signal. I'll be listening. Finish your apple. Seriously. Goodbye, everyone.
Adios.
Bye.
She'll finish the apple when he leaves.
I'll see you later.
Cute. And he walks into a wall and kind of vanishes.
No, he just walks into a wall. That's it. That's all he does.
Yep. Just kind of
Walks into it.
he passes out, falls to the ground, then falls through the floor, then
Does the like walking down the stairs behind the couch gag.
yes,
Yeah, she'll finish the apple when he's not there.
We all take 30d6 necrotic damage as you
Oh,
finish
God.
the apple.
No.
We're all dead. That's it.
We can
That
survive
deal was
that.
all
as you
for
start
naught.
to take you start to munch on the apple, it's almost like every bite makes you feel better in this moment, if not fully, just for the moment it makes you feel better, sort of like to eating chocolate after getting blown by a dementor. It's just, every bite just kind of makes you feel a little bit better and better. Would you prefer sucked? I guess sucked by dementor would be better. And so every bite just kind of makes you feel a little bit less cruddy, and then you start to like realize that it's kind of affecting you. You feel like this kind of tingling all over, and I'm gonna be.
Mari, what did you give up? Like you shook his little hand and that was it.
Same thing Haley gave up a while ago.
She gave up her love for Haley.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chelsea's face and Mari's face are very different at the moment.
Yes. Very
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Mari, this goes without saying, but pretty much everyone's in your debt at this point. You've
No.
given up Yeah. You gave up when you gave up some important things when no one else could. You stepped up and you got things done that are going to help a lot of people. And all of us owe you for that.
No, you don't. That's
And
not
after-
why I do any of it.
I know it's not why you do it. Of course, it's not why you do it. And that's what makes it important.
Even if we don't necessarily owe you something, Mari, we do owe you a thank you. It's not easy giving things up. We all know it. We've all done it. From your friends, at least, you get a thank you.
Thank you, Mari.
You do so much that a lot of other people don't and wouldn't do. It's good. You're good, and you should let us thank you for being a better person than pretty much anybody else. That's all.
I just want everyone to be okay. That's all.
Well, you're doing a damn good job.
Yeah.
Sparks comes over and hugs Mari's ankle.
I'm just picturing like little kitten paws.
Little toe beans.
Oh, that's very good. She'll kneel down and scratch him.
We'll be okay.
I know. I know. So we have quite a few allies now.
Yep, we've
And
got a couple
answers.
aces.
We know more of what we're doing.
And I might be able to bolster our defenses a little bit in the coming days. Not as much as I'd like, but a little bit.
I might be able to as well. I have a few spells I've been thinking about. Putting at least at key points in the city.
Yeah. You'll be able to coordinate something too, Owen. Now that we've got this, there can be a signal for everyone. That'll help.
Yeah, we'll arrange for that.
Mm.
We gotta have some sort of grand gesture at the right moment.
You know, I'm not sure if I should be proud of us or concerned for us that we're getting a lot better at making deals with Faye.
I think concern is what comes to mind.
Right?
I think it comes with the territory of what we do.
I'm proud that we're good enough at it that no one's really made any really bad deals since we've all got together. Which is not with Faye.
That's true. That's true. Nothing horrendous. I mean, there's been some that aren't necessarily good, but it's not. There's some worse than others.
Oh, and you get a sending from Bula. Get everyone, meet at the guild house. It's time for the big guns.
Well, I'm glad we have some bigger guns now. That's good to hear. I'll get everyone there. And he'll gather everyone up and say we got to go to the guild hall.
Okay.
All right.
You got the hopefully got the intention that when he meant everyone, he meant everyone.
Yeah, he'll start sending sendings.
And a little while later, you and all of the Cinder Roses are at the guild house. Bula is already there. He's got what appears to be a library cart filled with beautiful leather-bound tomes. We have about a week. as Owen's music starts.
It's accurate. It's
As
perfect.
Owen arrives at the guild
All right,
house.
fine. No, it's not working for me. Hold on.
The cowbell's not doing it for you?
It's just not doing it for me. Everything's out of order. Where does it go? Holy God.
No, it's perfect. Leave it.
I might have to. We have about a week before all hell breaks loose. We've been following and talking to Pinball and Arland, and we've tried to be listening to whatever's been going on. We got a report before we all arrived here. You have surpassed most. You've surpassed most all of us in different ways. With GB and all of you, together you are a greater force than any we've ever met. The city has decided to put everything in your hands. But it understands that you need a little bit of help. We've unlocked these from our vaults. Artifacts deemed too valuable for anyone to use. Too dangerous, really. Some of them artifacts that can only be used once every 100 years. If the entirety of the Sub-Rosarium is behind you and at your disposal. We have 6 days. You'll have time to read two books. And he points to the top row, and it's a series of beautiful tomes, several of each different class. Find the training that you need. And then below that, several books with gorgeous filigree work all over the leather on them. And inside, as you pull one open and look to the first page, this blue one, Tome of Understanding. The next one, Manual of Gainful Exercise. Another one, Manual of Bodily Health. Another one, Manual of Quickness of Action. Tome of Leadership and Influence, and Tome of Clear Thought. Take a manual or tome and take the training manual that you need. Study them. Know them. And come to us when you're ready, and we'll discuss what items we have that can help you. It's time to prepare for war. That's where we're going to end. Yes, Owen?
Can I just say one thing? Because
Sure.
Owen's got eight castings before he's next available, and for the next 8 days, he is going to each day find a large object he can turn into a young silver dragon to aid the city.
All right, we'll have to talk about that next, because there's going to be a lot of crazy.
Go off, okay?
Yeah. Owen's my favorite, says Primeheart.
I love that. That's like the
so-
last thing. It's like, yeah, we have just like several silver dragons now. It's fine.
Over the next 6 days, you will have been mostly studying 2 books. One is going to be the tome or manual of your choice, which is going to give you +2 to a stat. The other one is going to be the book that gives you the magical training necessary to reach level 20. So we're skipping over 19. Sorry, anyone who's excited about 19. You have reached your final milestone for this campaign. I'm not saying you're done leveling, but you've reached your final milestone for the campaign. You are preparing for war. We have one more, probably very roleplay heavy session next time. And then we have our final 2 episodes, which will both be happening simultaneously, even though they're on different days. And then on that Saturday, we'll have the epilogue. So we'll be back on Wednesday, 7 p.m. PST, after a bunch of other shows that you should definitely go and watch also before that. Like Final Rights and Homebrew Studio and DRPG.
And Shenanigans.
And Curious Crafts and Shenanigans and all sorts of amazing shows, all here on this channel. Starting Tuesday, I think at noon, is Final Rights, and moving on from there. So come and see all of that wonderful amazingness. And you can come back here. Thank you to our sponsors, which we've got to do at the top of the hour. One, World Anvil, the most robust world-building campaign management software that exists on the internet today. You can go over there and try out the World Anvil with a free account, or you can sign up to be a part of the guild once you've gotten the feel for it and want to have some more customization options and want to become more a part of the community. So that's what we recommend over there. So worldanvil.com, light up the forge. If you want to roll with the best, you roll with... Who do we roll with? Die Hard Dice. That's who we roll with. Die Hard Dice, woo! We're going to work on that. So you roll, if you want to roll with the best, you roll with Die Hard Dice. DieHardDice.com has a lot of amazing, beautiful, wonderful metal dice and a lot of other things too, including their brand new Scroll of Rolling, which is just blew my mind. It is a leather roll dice case that looks like a scroll. And you unroll it and you unzip it and you get your dice and then you roll them on your dice tray, which is the roll. It's amazing. Very smart. Very, very cool. Go take a look. And welcome to Scraticus as we're doing our last thing. Fall out of Koi Carp. Fallout Koi Carp. Fallout Koi Carp. Am I saying that right? I think I'm saying that right.
I think so.
Fallout Koi Carp. Thank you, Scraticus, so much.
Koi
We will make
Carp
sure
are
to
the
pass
same
it.
thing, but, you know.
Koi Carp? A koi and a carp? A carpy koi?
Yes.
Fallout
Koi
Boy
are
Carp.
carp.
Scraticus, thank you so much, buddy. You are so amazing. We really appreciate you very much. We're just wrapping up ourselves. I think we do this to you all the time. I'm so sorry. We will definitely pass this on, and we'll go ahead and raid someone else. You know what? We'll probably go raid Geek Space TV. I know they've had a lot of changes recently. Could use the support, so we'll go do that in just a second here. But I want to say thank you and go to dieharddice.com. You can use the coupon code Countless Heroes, all one word, to get 15% off. That will work once for any account, so you can go and use that coupon code. Also, because we've got all these amazing people, go to worldanvil.com and check out World Anvil and see all the amazing stuff over there. There are 2 big sponsors. They've helped us out greatly. They've taken a very good care of us, and we love them very much. We have 3 more episodes left of the show, and then we are done. That is all next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Well, technically, we've got an epilogue on Saturday, and that's it. And we're going to be done with this. This is that will be on episode 160. We started in August. I'll let you do the math, figure out how that works out. It's about 4 episodes a week on average. And yeah, it's been kind of a crazy ride. So 4.5, I think. But so thank you guys again, and thank you again, Scraticus. You're just amazing. So let's go ahead and get a raid going. And we will get over to Geek Space TV. And somebody else talk for a second. Oh, nope, they're not streaming anymore.
Oh.
What happened? They
So
were
level
it just
20,
said it.
huh?
They were just streaming.
We are
I
level
feel
20.
that, Jay. I feel that, Jay.
Yep. Oh shit, that means Owen just got his magical secrets, which
Ah.
Torn Pixies streaming Dungeons and Dragons right now.
Oh, Torn Pixie? Oh yeah, let's go see Torn Pixie. Torn
Yeah.
Pixie's amazing.
So I remember how I started this campaign and I was like, I'm not going to multi-class. Now I'm level 10. It's great. I did a really good job not multi-classing.
I thought you'd be the one. Did anybody not multi-class?
The other barbarians are a straight
didn't.
barbarian.
Okay.
I didn't multi-class. I'm going to be a 20th level paladin.
I only took
With
one.
2
All right.
20
Yeah,
level
I'm a 20
abilities.
level druid.
Thank you guys so very, very much. We
Oh,
love you.
yeah,
Please
with
come
2
along
20
with
level
us. Even,
abilities.
43 of you are already coming. You guys are amazing. What's going to be our raid cry?
Eat the apple.
Eat the apple. Eat the apple, Mari. Eat the apple. Finish your apple. All right, eat the apple, guys. Thank you very much. We love you guys very much, and we really do appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.